Hi everybody. Today I thought I'd share about what's going on about the world today about Israel and Palestine, and it's already been biblically talked about, and I thought I'd share this because what's going on and is still happening. And sorry about, it's really windy out here, but I thought I'd share something important to share with God about this. And I know there's a lot of distractions, but I'm trying to share this because it's been biblically happened, and it's like history repeating itself again. So in the Bible, when you go to Samuel 4, about the Ark of God captured, it talks about now Israel went out to the battle against the Philistines and encamped beside the Ebenezer, and the Philistines encamped in Abic. And then the Philistines put themselves in battle against Israel. And when they joined the battle, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 men of the army, had come into the camp of elders of Israel and said, "Why has the Lord defeated us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the Ark of the Covenant. Let us bring the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord from Shiloh to us, that when it comes among us, it may save us from the hand of our enemies." So the people sent to Shiloh that they might bring from their Ark of the Covenant, and the Lord host, who dwells between the cherubim, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and I don't know how to say this, Phinehas or something like that, were there with the Ark. I'm so sorry. There's just I'm trying to get in my book of the Bible. It's like very tiny, and I'm just trying to get this out of the way. It says here, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni or Phinehas, I think if I said it correctly, were there in the Ark of the Covenant of God. And when the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted so loudly that the earth shook. Now when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, "What does the sound of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews mean?" Then they understood that the Ark of the Lord had come into the camp. So the Philistines were afraid, for they said, "God has come into the camp." And they said, "Woe to us, for such a thing has never happened before. Woe to us! We will deliver us from the hands of these mighty gods. These are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness." Super windy day. Okay. Yeah, will deliver us in almighty gods. They are gods who struck by Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and conduct yourselves like men. You Philistines it says here, "You Philistines, that you do not become servants of the Hebrews as they have been to you. Conduct yourselves like men and fight." So the Philistines fought, and Israel was defeated, and every man fled on his tent. There was a very great slaughter, and there fell of Israel 30,000 foot soldiers. Also the Ark of God has captured, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, died. So what's going on right now is happening as many centuries ago, and it's still gonna happen and continue. Between the problem with the Middle East is it's gonna still, there's gonna be many fights, many wars. The reason that's happening right now is because it's the effect of between the Israel and the Middle East because of the Muslim community of Islam. The Islamic State and also the Judaism has been fighting for centuries, and this is gonna keep happening due to religion and also politics, unless they accept as they accept God, like they accept God, the cross, the living God. You have to understand that the Islamic State, Islam is like from Muhammad, of a new prophet, and he himself does not denies the cross, denies the meaning of the Jesus Christ of the cross, and also he denied about the resurrection with Jesus. They don't, yeah, the Muhammad of the Islam, they don't believe the cross, they don't believe the resurrection, and they don't believe that the Son of God and God are the same. They have adapted to this new religion also. And also with the issue with Israel is like they are the glory to Jesus of God, and you know, it was been biblically spoken about how much persecution they end up having because of the war that's going on, and it's happening, you know, stuff are happening. And is God mad? I think, like, personally, and I'm being realistic, speaking the truth part, he is mad. He's mad of not accepting him, not accepting the cross, not accepting of who he is or what he stands for. And I think that one of the priests spoke beautifully about between the war between Israel and Palestine. There's never going to be peace, and it's going to happen because they're not accepting God himself, the cross. And as long as they accept God and the meaning of Christ, there might be peace. But like, this is like a very touchy subject, but I'm just being realistically, is like the world right now, people have been dogmated with so many religions, have their own beliefs, have their own way of thinking, and every human has their own adaptation of the different mind for them. They think differently, and like, this is why it's causing mankind himself, like causing this chaotic fights and wars, and it's like a never-ending process. And I think that like there could be a resolution, but I feel like this is gonna be a continuing for many centuries before, and it's still going to happen as long as they accept Christ, the living God, and Jesus. But you know, that's gonna be the day that it's going to happen, when the return of the resurrection and stuff. These stuff are real. It's happening for a reason, and it's gonna continue to happen. So it's best to be wise and best to be mindful and be aware of what's going on, because it's a spiritual war. It's a spiritual battle, but it's also like a spiritual, diplomatic, political, religion effect, and this is gonna keep going as long as the people tend to accept Jesus or God of the living cross. And I thought I'd share that about in the book of Samuel, and it's on like Samuel 4. Yes, in the book of Samuel, and Samuel 1:4, if I'm correct, and it talks about that, about the Philistines and Israel going to war, and like, you know, God punishes stuff, like, and then that's the way of life. Like, it's the meaning is between the darkness and the light. When there's darkness, there's a light out of it, and then when there's light, there is darkness. That's the way of how the world works of this earth, you know. But I do feel like it could be resolved, but it's like a never-ending process between Israel and the Middle East. As long as they accept God, and as long as they repent, which that's never gonna happen. Like I said, it's been dominated by mankind, and you know, so many false religions, and people are not awake, and they're never going to be awake, and the world is always be revolving like that. And I thought I'd share this because this is serious stuff, and I don't know what could happen between Israel and Palestine. I just pray for both countries to be in peace. I wish for both of them to accept God. I wish both of them respect each other it's just crazy to me that killing each other is not the answer. Hurting each other is not the answer. The envy, the pride is not going to get you anywhere. And fighting is not the answer of anything, because at the end of the day, you're hurting the kids, you're hurting the families, you're hurting each other, you're hurting yourself. They're going to end up hurting themselves. And it's just like, the irony of this is like, it's not going to get done. So it's best to like respect and like be not into that type of mindset of evil, right? But humans have this thought of doing evil. Why? Because they don't have God in their heart. They don't accept Jesus in their hearts, and they're gonna be living this unhappiness, unholiness. And this is why the world is like really messy in this planet Earth. It's really messy. As long as they accept the Christ themselves, there'll be salvation on both countries. But like I said, like, it's a never-ending process, and like I said, humans have adapted to have a different mindset of thinking, and chaotically, their only answer for them is to fight. The only answer for them is to hurt one another and kill one another. And that to me is just disturbing and injustice. It's completely unjust and corrupted. But I do believe like God's punishment is really stronger. You can never know what could happen. God's nature could come and destroy something of a great nation. Look what happened to the Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria was a great place. It was a place of a lot of knowledge, of philosophy, of many great scientists been discussing, you know, and it's been destroyed by evilness and cruelness, because between the paganism and the Judaism and the Greeks and also the Roman Empire. So this is happening till today, you know, and it's because of the religion views and political views, you know. And like I said, it's just the respect, but people don't want to have that adaptation to respect one another, you know. And this is what happens. They end up hurting themselves at the end of the day. And to me, it just breaks my heart. And I think God, like right now, he is mad at both countries about what's happening. And it's going to happen because, like I said, humankind is a self-destructive being. And the only way to salvation is between you and God. And that's the only thing I could say, because it's the truth. And what I say, I speak the truth and only by the truth. So I hope you take it as it is, and I pray for Israel, and I really pray for the Palestine and the stuff that's happening. I hope like they both get resolved. And like I said, it happened in the Bible. It's happening right now, and like I said, you never know what could happen next, right? And like I think it's amazing, like God could control Mother Nature and do such stuff, you know, seeing these kind of things. And it does break my heart that young kids getting hurt and stuff, but what matters is to focus on yourself and with God. And I thought I'd share this. So